Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixelpartners here, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Asa Turning Moon left off. We've got a presented piece of evidence that shows that the stamp has killed our poor man.
I never know if I address this or not,
What?
but you see the brown part of his vest on his shoulder?
Let me
Looks like a
guess.
ponytail.
Yeah, the funny thing is that when you were stuttering a little bit, trying to figure out what to say, I was looking around to see what you'd point out, and I saw the shadow there, and I was like, huh, maybe she's probably gonna say that's a ponytail, and then you did, and I was like, oh my god.
It does, doesn't it?
In a way, if his hair was just a little bit longer in the back so that shadow extended to
Yeah.
cut out the pixels of the back, then it would be even more
Yeah, but
perfect for it.
I think maybe that's a good thing that it's not perfect.
Yeah. I could treat someone with the intent to kill, sent this mission to stamp the death.
The
Stamp of
The
death.
stamp of the death.
That'll probably be the red envelope that has, you know, the mysterious letters of, you know what will happen if you speak, if you speak of this. Going for it.
Isn't this the envelope, the one from 7 years ago?
Think about the text of the letter again.
Okay. Thinking.
Blah, 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 blah,
It
blah.
hurts to think.
There are 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. So, rightfully, this is page 2.
Mm-hmm.
If only you can count, Judge. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. I didn't even think about that part.
Oh.
That would have been a smart move to be like, oh, the
Wow.
enclosed stamp, Your Honor.
Ah!
In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp poison on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp. End quote. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked?
He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath, and the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
Goddamn USPS! Oh boy, here he goes, air guitar on again. Such a splendid imagination you have there, Forehead.
What?
Eh,
How is it imaginative?
let me confirm one thing with you, if I might.
Sure, go ahead.
So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago. Yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really? Well,
It is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence?
What? Well,
It was 7 years ago and we don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence, I see. Very well. I move to... Is that...
is that his older brother?
No, he's in jail.
Yeah,
Because he's in jail from things.
but who else would say
Phoenix?
Fraulein? Maybe?
It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier. Oh,
It is
okay, he
him.
is out of jail now, I guess. Oh, what? Emma. Oh, I guess Gavin was seeing double there for a second. Or,
you just
well,
seeing
Clavier.
double. You mean just
Seeing.
yeah?
Emma.
Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression. Did I sound like him?
Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective?
Someone had to come dig you all out of the mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would happen if you just dressed it in science a little more. You can find out that stamp was in the envelope easy.
Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective?
Just glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
That's right. The poison detection spray.
Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I gotta spritz it. Oh.
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget that since Gavin is also a first name, that Gavin is Prosecutor Gavin's last name.
Yeah.
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's atropine residue.
Fuck!
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Alright, Clavy.
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why.
Ain't
Why
nothing
didn't-
but a heartache. Tell me why
Ain't nothing but a mistake. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? That is a fucking mistake. Well,
There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out.
Figured what out?
He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And put this decisive evidence in a frame.
hold it.
Oh.
You're still here?
Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spock, raised the toothbrush, claim this scoop is mine.
What?
Drew Misham killed in cold blood.
Oh my god.
By send of 7-year-old delay. End quote.
Ugh.
No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay. End quote. Anyone? Anybody? You gonna buy that paper?
Order.
Order my paper?
No! I see no room for further argument here.
Nah.
So I admit this is all coming as quite a shock.
End quote.
Oh my god. Bailiff, get this man. Saying that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife, end quote.
That's the ticket.
Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
Oh, shit.
I see no need for further debate on this matter, end quote. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo!
I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds a defendant.
Well, it's not your job to find anyone right now, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's kind of the deal here. Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin?
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gavin shows are invalid for 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It bogs my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in our forehead's claim. A contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Explain that. He must have realized it was poisoned. Therein lies the rub.
What?
Huh? 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed the trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder?
He does have a good point.
Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
Why do you always keep making him sound like Morty?
I don't know. It's the headcanon now.
But he goes, ah, not, oh.
It's more fun.
Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall foul of a trap. And I had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo!
I don't think we're winning anymore. Nah, I'm glad to see we're all back on the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Jesus.
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is the poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. What about the atropine residue, huh? Oh, I agree, that does seem to be atropine residue. But, Air Forehead, it's certainly no stamp.
He has a point.
Yeah, but...
Like, these are all assumptions.
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all.
End quote. Oh boy.
I believe we've come to a conclusion again.
Apollo! Were we wrong the whole time?
I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence.
I'd like to bring some closer to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. The traces of the poison atropine on the document inside that envelope. Similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame.
Yeah, got it.
It's adorable. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you're right. Which means there's a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The trace of atropine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Well, Mr. Dotties, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. A fake clue? Fascinating. If we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah. The fake clue that's thrown off the poison off the trail is none other than... That's a weird one.
The fake clue?
Okay.
The frame, maybe?
That's what I was thinking at first.
Because it's so obvious. Like, it's such an obvious piece of evidence.
To be there.
Yeah.
Could the red envelope also be it? Because think about this. Why was the envelope resealed? It wouldn't make sense to reseal the envelope.
But then where would the frame come into play?
That's a good point. And then there's just the possibility it's fucking Drew Misham. I don't know exactly how he's fake evidence, but it's an interesting choice to be up there.
Do you want to save?
I will, even though it doesn't look like it's going to punish us at all, because it would usually have the... Where's my mouse? There it is. I'm going to save just in case.
Careful.
I almost want to put on Drew Misham just to see what the outcome is of stating that, because that sounds amazing. So I'm gonna pick Drew Misham first, just for the fuck of it.
Okay.
Watch this be the fake clue.
The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'll explain. Oh my god.
It's the right answer.
We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
He's like, what?
Congratulations. You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue, fakes, forgeries. Duh!
I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face.
I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
Sorry.
That's what I want to know.
It's a completely different person. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake. Yeah. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake. Oh my god.
Order!
So you're telling me that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake? That car sounds the same as you. Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo.
I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Misham was.
If Drew Misham wasn't the real forger, there's another person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor.
The daughter.
Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So I guess we'll actually go with...
Because she draws.
She can draw, yeah. There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger, known as Drew Misham, is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah?
Because if you're a forger, you're not going to forge stuff under your own name.
No?
Order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you.
I kinda agree. I mean, Vera, a forger?
Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in the trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense.
One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well,
Oh, Jesus.
here he goes.
I love that animation.
It's pretty solid.
It is.
Fascinating.
Oh, boy.
Hi.
Vera Misham,
Hello.
you've been paying attention to the trial so far?
Hello. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham?
Oh.
Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fraulein's, believe me. But they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art?
Here she goes. Yes.
So the forger Drew Misham was you?
Yes, it was me.
Jesus Christ, that's a weird picture with the eyeball falling out, I think.
What is that?
Because I was trying to think.
Oh, it was
looks like
a crying face.
Oh, that makes sense too.
It was a...
What? What?
It's funny because sometimes I'll draw things with my words too.
Yeah. The court was in an uproar,
I'll draw a
and it
doodle,
wasn't
send
coming
with
down.
text.
We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Oh boy.
Well, damn. She's doing real-time reaction images.
Yeah. I'm gonna reply in GIFs. Or GIFs. I just pissed off half the internet, don't know which half,
Yeah.
but... Alright,
I've heard
anyways.
it's supposedly GIFs by the creator.
Yeah, he was at a conference long
Yeah.
ago and he
But
made
it's
an animation.
so dumb because a GIF, like the first thing it stands for is graphic. And
Yeah.
it's not a graphic, you know, whatever.
They're also like, it's... there's other jokes that have been made about it. But anyways,
Yeah.
continue along with the case before
Anyway.
we get on some internet debate.
Okay. So, where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically.
Huh? Well, then who was he?
Well, he was actually... her. Yeah, doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Smiley face. Or crank face.
Yes. For father. I know it was wrong.
Is she speaking in poems? Or trying to? Why is it doing that? It's doing the offset thing.
I guess because there was a pause, you know.
Maybe.
Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent.
Slam poetry.
The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
Anything? Mona Lisa. Or, no, okay.
Father was so proud, and I so happy.
I like the little...
But in the end, I was making those.
I like the little bear thing that's on her...
Her bare overalls.
Her thing. Because it's usually hidden by the books, so you can't really see it.
She's
But
so cute.
she is. Forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already you were already creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
I was gonna wonder how old she was to try and figure out how old 7 years. Jesus Christ. So the one who figured out that stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Desert Stamp, to the courtroom, please. Right. Well, out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath 3 finished paintings. I see.
Was that you or?
Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Father, he knew of you.
So the father could still have been an artist and he was doing that on his own. Maybe.
Of both of you.
You're late, Father?
He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law offices. But lately we're not doing just law! Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham?
How am I supposed to know that?
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. Oh man. We know the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger.
I know there's so many people's dads involved in things.
What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out next time. Oh! Shibbity, shibbity, snap.
This is getting juicy.
Yeah, it is.